Hi, my name's Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup, and today I'm joined by
Steve.
Mark.
And we've just finished playing Isle of Skye. Now, it's a bit like Carcassonne, if you're familiar with that. As you go through the game, you're constructing a map here by placing tiles, but you'll notice everyone has their own map. There isn't just one big map in the middle, and you have to place tiles legally so the mountains connect to the mountains, the fields connect to the fields, and the roads connect, etc. But in terms of how you win the game, you're trying to get points. And the interesting thing is, at the end of the game, or rather as you go through the game, you're getting points for different things. And these are tiles, so what you're scoring points for each game is going to be different each time you play. So for our game, at various points through the game, you can see these letters at the bottom, A, B, A, C, etc. You're scoring different things. So at the end of the first round, we're scoring points for the A thing and the B thing. So whoever has the most boats gets 5 points, second most is 2, and then most money is 5, and second most is 2. But then when we go to the second round, now we score A, so boats again. Now we also score C, which is the most closed off areas, yeah? So you've got an area like this lake here, which is completely surrounded, then that's going to get you points. And the final thing we were getting points for was roads connected to your castle. This is your starting piece, and you kind of build them off, so you want as many roads as you can connected to this. There's also some other end game scoring. If you look at Steve's board here, for example, so he's scoring points for having sheep, or points for having these, what are these things called? Cairns or something, yeah. So there's various other ways of getting points here. But effectively, you're going through the game, placing your tiles, trying to score points that match the things here. Now, how you actually get the tiles is another interesting part. Everyone takes 3 tiles from the bag each round, and you lay them out here, and then secretly you decide that one of them you don't want. So maybe I don't want this one, and I stick my axe here. This is going to get thrown away. Then the other 2, you stick some coins behind them. So maybe I stick 5 coins behind that one, and then 2 coins behind that one, and then everybody reveals, whoops, how much money they've put behind these things. So this tile gets thrown away, and then you look around at other people's tiles. So we can see over here, Steve has priced this tile at 4, this one at 2, and you see I priced this one at 5 and this one at 2. We then take it in turns to buy tiles. Everyone gets to buy 1 tile. So I might look at Steve's and go, oh, this one is a bit too expensive. I don't want to pay 4 for this one, but I'll buy this one for 2. So I would pay Steve 2 coins. He gets his 2 coins back, and then I will get this tile, and I'll be able to add it to my landscape over here. But then when it comes round to Steve's turn, he might buy one of mine. So he gives me the money, takes the tile. After everyone's had an opportunity to buy, any that you didn't buy, that weren't bought by someone else, you have to pay the money you put behind them to the bank. So you don't want to price them too high, because you're going to lose that money. But then you do get to keep the tile, and you get to play the tile. So there's a trade-off here between how much you want to put, how much do you want to be able to play the tile yourself, or how much do you need money, because that's the only way of getting money is when people are paying you, except for there's one other way. Later on in the game you will get money at the start of each round, but to start with you really need money from people buying your tiles. Whoever has the most points at the end is the winner. What do you think?
Yeah, this one game of the year, last year was it? 2 years ago. Anyway, one game of the year, and I think deservedly. I think it's a great family weight game. I think the strategy for any level of gamer, we played with Jonathan's son, who had a good game, knew what he was doing, but there's deep level strategy later on. I think when you're pricing it out, you've got to be aware of where you are in turn order. So if I'm going first, I need to not put too much money on the tiles I've got, because I need to keep some money to hopefully buy one someone else's pricing. If you're going last, chances are someone by the time it gets to you is going to bought one of your tiles, and if they buy your tiles, the money you put on the tile and the money they gave you, you can then use to buy something else. So you can actually price tiles slightly lower if you're slightly high if you're going late on, knowing that if someone buys one off you, you're then going to have loads of money to buy something else. Money scores points at the end of the game, so I do like this. I think it's very good, and certain tiles you can clearly see based on the win conditions will be worth more value. I do think every time I've played this, there's been one person who always just seems to get the best tiles, and then everyone just buys them off him, and he spends the whole game with 40 money and no tiles. So I don't know how you can stop that happening. You've just got to overprice your tiles, I suppose, but other than that, I think it's a great game.
Okay, Steve?
I think that Steve has said everything that needs to be said about this game. It is a lovely, lovely game. One of my favourites. I thought that I had lost by 1 point, but I forgot to count up my little tiles there, and I actually won by 3 points, so that's always a good thing. Yeah, really, really good game, solid game. Yeah, okay. Really, really good.
Mark?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't spill. I can see why. It is sat perfectly in a family weight sort of thing. I think the greatest strength of it is the variability between games, because all the scoring tiles make such scoring tile set makes such a difference, and they are very varied in what they're scoring. So it gives it a lot of replayability. It doesn't last too long, and easy enough for everybody to play.
Okay, rating?
I'd just give it a 7.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
We're in the middle, 7.5.
All right. It's very well designed. I do like the variability, as Mark says, and I like building your little landscape thing. That works great. Keeping track of scoring points, because you really have to maximise how many points you're going to score. It's actually quite tricky. There can be a lot more to think about than it first seems here. But personally, I'm not very keen on the mechanism where you price the tiles, and I think that's mainly because I just find it really hard to do. You know, I feel like I'm wasting money if I put too much there, but when people just buy both your tiles and you're left with nothing, it's like, oh no, that's awful. So it's tense. Great for the family though. I'd be on a 7 out of 10. Alright, thanks for watching. That was Isle of Skye.